Hey guys, I'm Steph, and in this set we're going to explore the impact of what you post on social media. Your social media is like a snapshot of who you are. It shows your interests, your friends, what you find funny, and what you do in your spare time. It doesn't represent your whole life, but this little snapshot is something recruiters see when they're hiring. As first impressions are so important, recruiters will want to see your social media to understand who you are and how you can fit into the workplace culture. I know the term "what goes on the internet forever" is something you heard of, and I'm not going to tell you that a photo from 5 years ago will stop you from getting a job. But what I am going to tell you is do not overlook the importance of your digital footprint to future employers. Now, let's hear from AJ Tracey to hear his experience on social media. So, social media has so many positives for so many artists, but what do you feel like are the drawbacks from it?
Almost everything. I think social media is rubbish, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's good for promoting your business. It's excellent for that reason, actually, which is why most of us use it. But in terms of your mental health, it's very detrimental. I feel like, not just for me, but for everyone in general. I think you look at unrealistic standards and compare yourself to them all the time. Like when I post a picture with like all my jewelry on, and I'm just like somewhere lit, I don't know, I'm in a studio with all the man them and everyone's in designer and there's loads of bottles of alcohol. It's like, that's what you think we're doing every day, but we're definitely not doing that every day. It's like, it's not fair because you start comparing yourself with things that, are not every day for anyone in general. Like you see Drake on an airplane and you're like, yeah, I need to go get an airplane, which is just not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? You see girls that are like super skinny and you're like, I need to be that size. It's not realistic, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's very detrimental to everyone. And I think there's a certain way you have to use it. You have to use it the same way you go gambling, like when you go to a casino, you only take what you're okay with losing, you know what I'm saying? When you use social media, you just show what you're okay with showing and you just look at things that you're okay with, I guess comparing yourself to, or it's not gonna hurt your feelings to look at someone doing certain things. So yeah, man, I'm just not really a big fan of it, to be honest.
I saw that you deleted it last year.
I've deleted it like 30 times, but last year was the time I deleted for the longest. I think I was gone for like 9 months or something.
Yeah.
I don't really use Instagram anymore, I'll be honest.
Do you ever feel like sometimes you post things and you're instantly a bit like, thinking about like, why did I post that? Like thinking about other people and how they're perceiving it.
Yeah, I used to feel like that, but now like I feel like I've just understood Instagram so well now that I only post things that like are for me. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just posting it because I just want to show people that I'm just enjoying doing this, and there's no other like catches to it. So if people don't care about the picture, I don't really care either, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's a good outlook to kind of see things. Think so. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for that, AJ Tracey. I really appreciate your openness. Everyone does need to be so cautious with how they use social media. All your likes, your tweets, your messages that you send are logged, and this leaves a digital footprint. When these interactions are public, it can affect your career. We've all seen the cancel culture, which demonstrates this. Celebrities and athletes, their digital footprint is logged, and when prejudice or inappropriate things rise to the surface, these individuals are cancelled online. Let's take Wiley for example. At the beginning of the year, he had various anti-Semitic tweets which led to his Twitter account being deactivated and his management dropping him. Pat, our expert in recruitment, also sees this every day when people are applying for jobs. Listen to what he has to say about how recruiters use social media. What's the likeliness that an employer will look at your social media when you're applying for a job?
I think it's very high, to be completely honest. I think in this day and age, a lot of people have access to social media, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and all of these things are obviously digital footprint that's publicly available to a lot of people, depending on your settings. So in a situation where you're getting hundreds and hundreds of applications, social media is a good way of maybe having a look into somebody's background, their likes, their interests, and see what separates them from the rest. So it is very high, to be completely honest.
So when you're doing this search, are there any obvious red flags that you will look out for?
I think there's a lot of obvious red flags. I think anything that's extremely offensive, obviously, anything that's racist, anything that's homophobic, misogynistic. I think also we live in an era where there's a lot of memes, a lot of meme pages. People like memes, share memes, that kind of stuff. And sometimes they can be offensive, and sometimes it can be relatively harmless, right? You're just sharing it with a friend, you think it's relatively funny. But I think that most recently we had somebody that I saw had liked a meme that was quite misogynistic. It was about a female being in the kitchen or something like that. It wasn't very nice. And something that we really kind of push in our company is diversity and inclusion. The post was 2 years ago, and obviously we all make mistakes, and it's really difficult, right? Because I don't want to adhere too heavily towards kind of cancel culture, because everybody deserves a second chance. But also, you still need to be careful because it still doesn't look good. So you do need to be really wary of, like I said, what you're liking, what you're sharing, and what you're posting.
So when you are looking on social media, are you looking back towards 2 years ago, or are you just doing a quite quick search? How thorough is it?
Doing quite a quick search, but sometimes if people are relatively private, a lot of stuff that they have done recently may not come up. So the kind of brief snapshot might bring stuff up that was 2, 3, 4 years ago. And that was the case of this person, this individual, because their Facebook was relatively sparse, but it had a few things like pages or memes that they'd liked quite a while ago. And that was what came up first.
Yeah, of course. All right, Pat, thank you so much for today. That was really insightful.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
As Pat outlined, employers will look at your social media. So before you post or tweet, it could be worth thinking whether this is necessary and how a recruiter could perceive this. An activity you can do after watching this set is go through your Twitter and your Instagram pages and think about how your post could be perceived by a recruiter. Maybe you might want to make your profile private or delete a caption or a tweet. Before I close, here are a couple Apprentice Nation sets I'd recommend you to watch. 1, how to make your LinkedIn profile pop, and 2, personal branding. Check out this Abraham Lincoln quote. And if you don't get it, please research Abraham Lincoln. On a more serious note, here is the quote I really like. We get to live in a time where we get to use social media as a tool. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this set, and watch what you post online.